Welcome to... oh, God.
Brunch.
Hit it, boys. Welcome to podcast time here on The Buzz. We're talking everything from movies to Judge Judy, from Oscars to Boskers, from sounds to Mounds bars, everything on The Buzz. We're taking your calls. It's The Buzz.
I gotta tell you, can't care about these movies.
Can't.
All about Hollywood. It's all politics.
I saw Jerry Remy on, did you see Jerry Remy?
No.
Talking about that?
No.
Okay. So I'm not going to talk too much about it because it's on a show that's on a different network.
Yes.
But I caught a second of, they had like a segment where it was like, Ask Jerry Remy. And it was like, well, what are your thoughts on the Oscars this year? And I only saw like 3 seconds of his answer, but
it was an
what
okay
I gleaned
boomer
from
answer,
it was he was skipping the which movies did you see part and jumping right to as long as they don't get up there and talk about their politics, I don't care. I don't know. I like to know what everyone's politics are when they get up there. Like I'm not always like who'd you vote for this election? Like I'm going to tell you everything about my politics, but I don't know.
It's
If
like, hey,
someone's
what do
going to
you
go
care
up there
about?
and volunteer some like personal information about themselves, I'm not turning it off.
Yeah, it's true.
Like if Michelle Williams went up one of these times, she was like, I like Dick Cheney, and then walked away, everyone would be like, damn, didn't see that coming.
like she'd get canceled by
pretty cool that
some
she-
people, but like it'd also be like interesting just to be like, oh, so Michelle Williams, a Dick Cheney stan. That's something that I didn't
see her
know.
hanging in the back of there was a video that was like, just a reminder, when everyone acts all high and mighty at award shows, and it was like everybody going up thanking Harvey Weinstein. There was a shot of Michelle Williams like looking at Harvey Weinstein so lovingly, and the whole movie, the whole like clip messes you up and reminds you like all of these people just they're what's the expression, like you go along to get along kind of thing.
Sure.
They're like, we're all making money,
Yeah.
so you know we'll let
That shit happens.
we'll let this crash and burn some other way.
right. Yeah, I mean, like
That's the Harvey
it's-
Weinstein portion of today's podcast.
Didn't think we'd
it's
go there.
podcast time.
Yeah, no, like I'll take some politics over like a very boring, very
Oh, God.
just put me to sleep sort of speech.
I liked the kid at the Golden Globes that went up and was like, look, you guys don't know who I am. I'm going to keep... Did you see him?
No.
He went up and I don't know if he was an actor or director or something. He was like, look, none of you guys have seen my show. You probably think that, like, you're probably looking at me and think that this must be like an editing award or something. Whatever. It's fine.
That's the thing. It's like the worst part of the Oscars is like these people who get like the behind the scenes awards and they go up on stage and it's just like an absolute train wreck because they're not like professional presenters or like not used to being
as long as everyone
in front of
there
crowds.
knows who it is. I don't know. Like as long as
I'm not saying that they don't deserve to be up there, but that's usually where like the real train wreck happens.
Well, no,
these
that's what I'm
shows.
saying. Like if they go up there and they're like, I know all the people here, then it's going to be cool.
Right.
But if they go up there and they're like,
Oh my God,
oh
millions
man,
of people watching
I can see Tom Hanks over there. This is so crazy. And I'm like, Tom Hanks seems like a friendly guy. I bet if you were around Tom Hanks sometimes, you would have spoken with him. Now you're this non-Tom Hanks knowing person up there. We're taking you less seriously by the minute. I've got a Oscars question. Did you listen to Harry Styles' album at all?
No,
I didn't at all.
I didn't. I caught the.
Well, I know why you didn't. It's because it's music.
I'm out on music, but
was
I'm
a
in on
music
Harry
album.
Styles.
Yeah?
Don't care about his music. I'm just down to objectify the hell out of that
I feel
hot
like
guy.
a third of the Instagram stories I see are screen grabs or whatever, or the thing where you can post a song to Instagram. And it's that album cover, which is very interesting. It's a cool album cover. It's like the fish lens thing.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
he's
yeah.
wearing bell bottoms, I believe. He's
yep.
wearing some white bell bottoms and
He's got a cool
pink
vibe.
shirt tucked in. Yeah, he seems like a cool guy. I didn't check out this album at all. I wonder why.
I'd only seen the Backyard Orgy music video. You see that one?
There's a song called Backyard Orgy.
No, it's just the music video is basically a backyard orgy.
Okay, I just pulled up the Wikipedia of this album, which is called Fine Line.
Okay.
We're going to discuss this album a little bit. These songs are Golden, Watermelon Sugar, I see everybody talk about. Adore You, was that what it was from?
I don't know.
Lights Up could have been from that.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Are you sure?
No.
I'm going to name the other ones. And
Okay.
maybe
I'm gonna have to guess.
happen. You're going to say like, yes, and I'm going to name two more. You're going to be like, no, it was that.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Cherry.
It's not Cherry.
Falling.
Not Falling.
Writers are Styles and Thomas Hull, who I believe is Kid Harpoon. Yeah, that's Kid Harpoon. So that's not a Haim cover. To Be So Lonely, was it that?
Nope.
Was it She?
I don't think so.
Was it Roland? Who's this Roland? Oh, Mitch Roland. I was like, yo, he's got Kelly Rowland writing his songs? I'm about to listen to it now. Sunflower Volume 6?
No.
Don't hate the idea of putting out a song called Sunflower Volume 6 because Post Malone put one out.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Vampire Weekend put out a Sunflower with Steve Lacy. A lot of songs called Sunflower right now. I like just assuming by the time this song comes out, there's going to be like 3 more. So this will be Volume 6. Canyon Moon? Was it Canyon Moon?
No.
Was it Treat People with Kindness?
Nope.
Was it the title track, Fine Line?
I don't believe so.
Interesting move as we break down this album. The title track is the final song
I like
on the
that
album.
move.
I feel like
it's interesting.
I bet if we were to really break it down and go through these, you would find that title tracks are certainly on the first side of an album, but I would say in like the first 2-3 songs.
Yeah, usually. I mean, I feel like usually it's number 1.
Right.
Or in a large majority of instances, but like usually always in like the first 3 or 4.
But you could have some
Lover was 2?
What's that?
Lover was 2?
Oh, that's a good
Taylor Swift's, I believe.
Let me see. Lover, Taylor Swift. I was gonna say 2 is quite common because you have some sort of
Like
intro.
yeah.
Like we got a new Patreon person who just paid us because he likes occasional Ween references. Ween's classic album, The Mollusk, does this. Their first song on the album is "I'm Dancing in the Show Tonight," and it's a very silly song about getting ready to do a show. And then the second song is The Mollusk.
Yeah, I think that's like a common practice because
Did
a lot of the
Sonics-
times, like you have a song that you want the album to center around, but it's not always a song that is great to lead off an album.
Right. Let's see. Some Nights by Fun, I believe, did this. I think they had a song called Some Nights Intro or something. And then, yeah, where are we? Give me are you not giving me the track listing, Wikipedia? Oh, no. This.
No.
I'm on the Some Nights song Wikipedia page. Okay. It went Some Nights Intro and then Some Nights. And then We Are Young, which... hilariously, I still laugh every time I see that song says featuring Janelle Monáe. Because she's in that song. And like they used her for like 3 seconds. But on paper, you see like, oh,
That was my first
Fun
exposure.
and Janelle Monáe did a song. You'd think, I don't know, it'd be a little more give and take.
Right.
You'd like show off just basically use Nate and Janelle to just go the hell off.
Well, that's like when John Mayer did a song with Taylor Swift, and it was, I think, Half of My Heart, and she just like was barely in it. That was like when they were doing weird stuff together.
Oh, that's I don't know. How do we feel about? Let's get into age difference.
I like to
talk.
pretend that didn't exist.
Oh, I definitely like to pretend that didn't exist. People given. We're gonna get back to.
Okay, just a sidebar.
Harry Styles album. What's it called? Lover. The page. I'm going through all the tabs I have up. It's not The Mollusk. It's not Lover. It's Fine Line. We're gonna get back to that. But there was some age difference talk this week because everyone found out that Florence Pugh, whom I look up to, I just used whom correctly, but then I added a sentence with preposition. To whom I look up. You're still ending it with that's some interesting sentence structure talk. Anyway, who inspires me, who is an adult to my child, is dating 44-year-old Zach Braff.
How old is Florence Pugh?
She's got to be 23, 24, 25, something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
I mean,
but it's like, but Zach Braff seems like just a child,
right?
Just a child in a old middle-aged man's body.
But I'll tell you, I mean, we've never talked about we all we do is talk about how much we love Florence Pugh. If
never
either one of us was like,
her.
how hot,
yeah,
we'd both be like,
excuse me. Well, that's
easy.
I saw Jerry Thornton post about like, so glad Florence Pugh like posted a shirtless or celebrated her Oscar nomination with a topless photo, and I was like, hey,
yeah, that's my kid.
Yeah, don't talk about my sister that way.
Right.
It's like I'm very protective over Florence Pugh. I don't want to objectify her. She's very pretty.
I was gonna say, and now like you want to have the conversation. She's a beautiful person,
but she's special to me.
Right. And when you call, I don't know. I'll tell you this. I think I'm out on calling people hot unless it's a guy, which that's like I guess that's news like 7 years ago, but
it's like that. What this podcast was founded
exactly.
upon.
Yeah, right. I was like a million years of this podcast. You know what? I often don't say that girl's hot. I more do it with I don't know. I think I've always kind of been out on the sitting around. How hot is this person? So
what about the age difference thing?
What's that?
What about the age difference thing?
I don't know. I was discussing this with who has a young girlfriend these days. It might be Gavin Rossdale.
Okay.
You know who Gavin Rossdale
Nope.
is? Really?
No.
Man, he's the lead singer of Bush.
Oh, well.
But you might know him as Gwen Stefani's longtime husband.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Do you know who Blake Shelton is?
Yes, I know who that guy is.
Cool.
Stinks.
They do a song together. He has some okay songs, but they do a song together called "You Make It Feel Like Christmas." Could we break this down on the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
if we somehow missed that,
I have a question for you
Yep.
about like the age difference.
About
thing.
Harry Styles' album.
No, about the age difference thing. What's the deal with girlfriend parents?
Why are girlfriend parents the same age as you? What is the math? I gotta go to prom next weekend. Oh, prom. I got 2 proms. So was this guy? Yeah, it was. I think it was Gavin Rossdale has a young girlfriend or something, and if he doesn't, apologies. My theory is, and this could upset some people, but whatever. If you know me, you know me. I don't believe that there is the one. I believe that there are roughly 10,000. Yes, there are roughly 10. So I've probably said this before.
Yes, we had this discussion like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Good. All right. There are roughly 10,000 people for you. Dwight Schrute made this point one time on The Office after I had come up with this independently. He said something like, well, there are so many people on the planet, and however many of them live in Asia. Like when I think when talking about the idea of the one, I think that there is like probably 10,000 ones for all of us. I don't know, though, that any of them are like 25 years younger than any of us.
I don't know. I think that
I'm also a big like, hey, whatever makes you happy guy.
Right, and I also think that like as soon as you get to like adulthood, and I don't know what number you want to put on that.
Agree with this.
Who the fuck cares?
Right.
Like it doesn't matter.
Right. I'm just gonna go through like my book.
I mean, it is
sayings,
weird
but
it's weird like when it's like a fucking like 75-year-old who's like pretty close to death,
right?
And then like a
dating
25-year-old.
Yes.
That's really weird and like sort of creepy. But like again, if both people are happy, then who cares? Like
right.
do
And
whatever
as
you want. I don't give a shit.
As you age, if you're if you're like 24 dating a 20-year-old, it's kind of like. I think people would see that as kind of weird, right?
Yeah, because like the 20-year-old is not yet an adult,
right?
It's somebody who's like in college. They can't go
30,
drink.
But if you're 35 dating a 25-year-old, people are like, yeah, who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Right. But then once you're, I don't know, the 44, 23, whatever she is. And again, I am not like knocking them. I'm just giving my thoughts on the idea of that. Like I've never been in a 44 versus like 23-year-old relationship.
Yeah.
Maybe when I turn 23, I'll look into it. But So that's the Florence Pugh news. She did.
Florence Pugh dating advice segment.
When I learned this, which apparently
I'm
Randy
more
has
mad.
brought up forever.
By the way,
ago.
I'm more mad that Zach Braff is dating Florence Pugh. I love Scrubs. I think Zach Braff's probably a decent enough guy.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, not good enough for my daughter.
Who do I want? This is so weird. But if you had your brothers about who you want to date,
No, you can't.
Who do you want to date?
You can't do
Florence Pugh instead of Zach Braff. We're recasting Florence Pugh's relationship. Awful. Not doing that.
Yeah.
But I would pick like Lil Nas X or something.
Okay.
Okay. So, back to The Mollusk by Ween. The fine line Harry Styles album. It was put out by Columbia Records. Its genres, according to Wikipedia, are let's play guess that genre on the buzz. All right, there are 3 genres it's listed as.
Okay.
All 3 of which are hyperlinked because it's Wikipedia.
Okay. The first is one of them is definitely pop.
We have pop,
I'm gonna say rock.
rock.
And I'm gonna say alternative.
No,
Funk.
no, it's
Damn.
right. It's right under your nose.
Pop
It's
rock.
Pop rock.
Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say you've said both of these words. You'd be like
That seems stupid.
dating and Shelton.
That seems stupid. If you're classified as pop and rock, you shouldn't have
I
to.
don't know, like,
seems a little bit repetitive.
Right, because I remember when I was like a kid, when Matchbox 20 came out, I was like, what does this classify as? Because like the Beatles are rock and roll. I feel like I was confused when people started throwing around rock when I was a kid, and they were like, "Oh, this is a rock song."
I've always thought that
And I was
music
like,
genres
is
are
that
pretty
not
stupid.
rock and roll? And there's like differences.
Yeah, I
There's
think
layers to
that
this shit,
music
player.
genre is pretty stupid.
Why?
Just because it's everything that everything that people try to classify as
Yeah.
rock and stuff. I feel like that produces Greta Van Fleet. They're like, I need a rock band,
Right,
and
right.
so it's just like what you already have in your mind and what you already know.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's rock.
That's a very good point. Like if you're like, hey, I want to come up with like a funk song, then you're automatically going to sit down and just be like,
It's like a Bruno Mars kind of like effect where
formulaic.
it's like
it
you
causes
are
formulaicism.
so derivative.
Yes.
And that which is like there's nothing wrong with being derivative, I
Right.
guess, but like
Oh, I support it.
you're not gonna think outside the box and like say like when Lil Nas X comes out,
Yeah.
and that was definitely a country song, but people were like, because it was a little bit different, people were like, that's not fucking country,
Right. Even though that who sings If It's Meant to Be, It's Meant to Be,
If it's meant to
Which
be, it's meant to be.
I've long contended was not meant to be a song.
Yeah, who does sing that?
That song uses like a trap beat and everything. It uses like the hi-hat 16th notes, man.
That's Florida Georgia Line.
That's Florida Georgia Line?
BB Rexa and Florida Georgia Line.
Dan and Shay's not involved.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
That's Florida Georgia Line?
Yeah.
What else does Florida Georgia Line sing?
Why do you like that song?
Dude. No.
I was going to say.
I said I contend it was not meant to be a song.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say because I know that Florida Georgia Line.
Florida Georgia Line did a
is
song.
like the bane of your existence.
Didn't they do a song with the Chainsmokers?
Yeah.
What a douchebag off that must have been.
See,
How did they check their egos at the door and just come together for the sake of douchebaggery? Being
But
like, hey,
I've-
this isn't about individual egos. This is about us all coming together and doing the douchiest thing anyone's ever heard. Okay, this isn't about any one of us.
Anybody who tried to produce that song just had to like go into quarantine for weeks. But I think there's a difference there. Like. I look at the
I
chain.
gotta look that up. Who mixed the because
Are they alive? What happened to them?
Chainsmokers probably produced it, so they sucked. I don't know, like whoever engineered it, someone who's just like standing around, like plugging stuff in and like hearing all the ideas suggested. Like, what if we did this? What if we? Yo, look at this chick. like half the songwriting was them like taking out their phones, being like, "How about this chick?"
But I think that
She's in a movie
I think
called
the
Midsommar.
Chainsmokers are like a tiny bit like self-aware.
I think so. I mean, Selfie was so self-aware.
Yeah.
They were like this. Selfie and the Chainsmokers, I feel there's like some overlap there with Father John Misty, where Father John Misty's telling you like everything is stupid. Entertainment is stupid. This is just all a contest to see which kind of stupidity can get your attention. And I think the Chainsmokers know that.
I think the Chainsmokers are like the EDM world is like full of douchebags, and
Right.
like we for sure want to be in there,
Right.
But like we know we're kind of douchebags,
Right.
So like I respect them for
what
that.
was the thing on their website? They listed their combined endowment.
Wait, was that them or was that 21 Pilots?
I don't think 21 Pilots like was listing that stuff. No, they were dropping their pants.
Yeah,
they were
they
like,
listed-
we said if we ever won an award, we would drop our pants. Like, then take it back.
yeah. I don't think Mike Vrabel's gonna actually cut off his
When
dick.
you won the award, they weren't like, and if you'll remember, you said you were going to drop your pants, so you got to do it.
Oh yeah, Chainsmokers, a combined 17.34 inches of their penises tip to tip.
Dude. Yikes.
So stupid.
That is unbelievable. Like, we never have to worry about being douchebags.
Oh my god.
You know how good that feels?
Here's-
We never have to worry about being the douchiest
Yeah.
white guys in the world.
That's true.
So-
The bar has been set so high. Can I read you this? This is from Jezebel. Taggart and Paul, who are admittedly quote-unquote girl crazy and consider quote-unquote pussy to be quote-unquote number one, claim that their dicks, when quote-unquote tip to tip, are 17.34 inches combined. If we're to believe that the average length of an average penis is just above 5 inches, this is an impressive number. Oh,
Who wrote this?
God. Jezebel. Yeah.
I saw a listicle thing that was like, when I looked,
How did I not know
when
that
I
this
looked
happened?
up Zach Braff, Florence Pugh, it was like Zach Braff and Florence Pugh are dating, and you won't believe what Florence Pugh said about it. And I was like,
That
all
she
right, I got to
likes
find
him.
out. So I clicked on it, and it was like I'll look this up right now. It's unbelievable. It was like a listicle thing, and it took me so long to read. It just said one little tidbit. Let's see.
I do like the idea of like maybe like couples coming out and being like, "Hey," it's like Florence Pugh and Zach Braff. It's like, "Hey, the combined penis length of this relationship is 4 inches."
All right. Florence Pugh had a blunt response to a fan who mocked her age difference with Zach Braff. Subhead. Alrighty then. By
What website is this?
BuzzFeed. By
Okay,
Stephen
great.
LeConte, who is a staff writer. Shouts Steve. By now, you hopefully know Florence Pugh, star of Midsommar and Little Women, among many other credits. Photo by Tim P. Whitby, Getty Images. But one thing you might not, all caps, know about Florence Pugh is that she's currently dating Zach Braff. Yes. Like Zach Braff from Scrubs and Garden State, etc. 4 exclamation points. Photo by Mike Coppola, Getty Images. Some people have been surprised to learn that Florence and Zach are a couple, considering the 21-year age difference between them. Florence is 23 and Zach is 44. 2 separate Getty Image pictures put together.
Who
But
gets
when
the credit?
someone no credit,
Wow.
they did the old we're gonna put it in a Photoshop thing side by side, and then we're just gonna say Getty Images. But when someone made a shady remark about their age gap this weekend, Florence was having caps lock none
of it.
GIF courtesy of Bravo.
My God, that is so stupid.
It's a GIF of
It's not even a
somebody
Florence Pugh
on
GIF.
Bravo. No, just a person saying like
It's just a shocked face from Bravo.
yeah.
Great, cool.
It all started when Florence posted the following photo on Instagram. Instagram.com.
Just a picture of her.
Photo
Looking pretty
at
sweet.
Greenblatt's Delicatessen Restaurant and Fine. That's what's called? Oh, and Fine something.
Okay.
Imagine.
Fine ladies.
It's a nice picture of Florence. Very pretty.
Cool outfit. Got a nice little cropped. Is that a crop top sweatshirt she's got going on, or is it just lifted up because she's
Perhaps.
pointing?
I think it might be because she's pointing
She's
up.
pointing to the sky.
Zach commented on that photo with the princess emoji. I suppose to let us know that Florence is his princess. It's a bit of a leap, Stephen. I'll allow it. Now you can see there. That's
Okay.
Zach checkmarked, and he's using a white princess.
I think that's a queen emoji. So I think Steven's doing some pretty shady reporting here.
Is there an older?
Oh,
emoji
is he assuming that she's a princess because she's so
because
young?
she's a kid? Let's see. Are there other? We're doing this live. This was not
It's a
planned.
live investigative report.
We are checking if there is an older woman wearing a queen crown, or if it's like the Oscars and there's just an older man wearing a crown. Let's see. This was not pre-planned.
I'm gonna. When you type into iMessage, it brings you up the suggested emoji.
Okay.
So I'm gonna type in queen.
I'm ready to make a call on this.
Yep.
I'm ready to make a call on this, Pete. You nailed it. This is the only emoji of a woman with a crown. There's no older woman wearing a crown. There's also no older man. They got one each.
Mm-hmm.
One man could be any age. One woman could be any age. Zach Braff could have been suggesting she's a queen, which is, if I were to have commented on that photo, which good chance I did, it would be the queen emoji.
I commented on the picture of her getting the Oscars call, and I think I commented queen shit.
Queen shit.
Queen shit.
Cousin of king shit.
Yes. And so like she's a queen to me, she's a queen to you.
Yes.
She's probably a queen to Zach Braff. I think Steven here is really exposing himself.
We're going to finish this, but then we're going to
Cancel.
We're going to write Steven a letter.
Okay. We're going to cancel the hell out of this guy.
Okay. A fan replied to that princess emoji, there he goes again,
yikes.
pointing out that Zach is 44 years old. The fan is named Anastasia Glover.
Oh, great.
At Zach Braff, you're 44 years old. 538 likes. Instagram. And Florence herself then jumped into the comments to clap back with this. At Anastasia Glover. And yet he got it.
Ooh.
Okay symbol.
That's pretty solid. Okay.
Quote. And then he got it. GIF courtesy of Bravo.
Oh my God. So stupid.
Well. GIF courtesy of
Oh
Bravo.
my God.
GIF courtesy of Bravo. GIF courtesy of Bravo.
Oh my God.
We're now up to, I believe, 5 Bravo GIFs.
Which, by the way, just to reinforce, Florence Pugh, absolutely no connection to Bravo as far as I'm aware.
Well, lesson learned. Do not come for Florence Pugh about her age gap with Zach Braff, 3 exclamation points. GIF courtesy of CBS, because it's Judge Judy.
Oh my God. I hate the internet sometimes.
And now here are some options to share the article. Okay.
I'm so inspired to share that article.
So let us craft our letter to Stephen
let's do it.
Dear Stephen.
Is this
Good?
are you
Dear-
actually? Yeah,
yes.
that's fine with me. Are you actually? Is there like a link to email him? Or are you just drafting this in Word or something?
I can find his email in 2
Okay.
fucking seconds,
All right.
man.
All right.
You just-
I'm not doubting you. I'm just wondering if like that was a BuzzFeed.
I'm about to
installed
friend him
feature.
on LinkedIn and then bury him. Let's see. Dear Stephen,
How dare you?
while Googling the age difference between Florence Pugh, in parentheses, Midsommar, Little
2019.
Women.
No, Midsommar 2019.
Both of which enjoyed theatrical releases in 2019. And Zach Braff punked.
That's pretty good.
Well, let's see. I could. It was brought to my attention by. Do I write this from the perspective of me, from both of us, or?
I think it should be. I think it should be
a unified front.
Yeah, I think it should be from like formal brunch stationery.
It was brought to brunches.
Should we send it in a PDF?
Yes.
That would be way more intimidating.
Brunch noticed that.
Could we also lead in with from the desk of brunch?
Yes.
Dear Josh.
Yes.
I've always wanted to start something off with from the desk of.
Awesome. From the desk. Now we got to look up formats and shit.
We can deal with the formatting later.
From the desk of brunch. From the desk of brunch. Dear Stephen, hold on. Let's put his. Should we put his full name in this?
Yes, for sure.
Dear Stephen LeConte. We don't dislike this guy, by the way. We're not dogging this guy. We're just.
Hey, we're setting the record straight. We're both writers ourselves.
Yes,
it's important for us to get the facts straight.
I like when writer to writer, somebody's like, "Hey, they ran a thing that you wrote, and there's a dropped word there. I want to fix that as quickly as possible."
Mm-hmm.
Dear Stephen LeConte, while googling the age difference, should we do a hope all this finds you well or something? I don't want to do a hope all is well, but
I think hope people love
like being found well.
Found well,
yes. We hope this finds you well. While Googling the age difference between Florence Pugh, Midsommar, Little Women, both of which enjoyed theatrical releases in 2019, and Zach Braff, Punked, Brunch discovered what may have been a misinterpretation of Zach Braff's intentions. In the story titled, Florence Pugh had a blunt response to a fan who mocked her age difference with Zach Braff. You, or someone using your account, wrote that Zach Braff commented on Florence Pugh's photo with a princess emoji. However, upon exhaustively inspecting the standard emoji set offered by Apple, we found that there is only one crowned emoji each for men and women. Therefore, there is no possible way to conclude that Zach Braff used this emoji to refer to her as a princess more than he would be I'm going to rephrase that. There is no possible way to conclude that Zach Braff used this to refer to her as a princess more than he would,
as opposed to
rather than to refer as a princess rather than a queen, duchess, or any other crown-adorned royalty. Also, where did you get those GIFs? Would like to use going forward. Best, Brunch.
There you go.
P.S. If you take suggestions for stories, Harry Styles' new album.
What's that about?
Fine. Would love to read about Harry Styles' Fine Line album. Okay. Now, we're going to do the practical thing, which is we're going to put it in an envelope. We're going to lick it. and we're gonna go to bed. We're gonna sleep. You know
Sleep
that
on
thing. You never send an angry email. You sleep on it.
Okay.
But I don't think this is angry.
It's not angry. It's constructive.
I think this is constructive and nice, and it's going to. Maybe I got some bias in play here. I'm guessing that Steven's a young guy. And I'm thinking a lot of young writers. This is gonna make me sound like an old guy.
Don't do the research.
A lot of young writers could use some improvement and some help. I don't know if Steven could be a great writer. Let's read some of his other stuff.
We're not perfect. I'm
dying at Courtney Cox desperately trying to get Monica on the Friends character Instagram filter.
Okay.
All right, let's spend a second on this.
Okay.
If you've ever been on Instagram lately, you've surely seen friends trying out those new fancy filters. Well, one of the most viral of these, which Friends character you filter, lots of people have been doing it, including Monica Geller herself, a.k.a. Courtney Cox. But unfortunately for Courtney, she could not seem to get Monica as her result, no matter how hard she tried. And you just got to assume every time I take a breath, it's GIF courtesy of NBC. In a video she posted on her Instagram page, appropriately with the Friends theme song as the soundtrack, Courtney goes through the multiple blah, but the filter keeps going, blah, blah. First she got Rachel, which she was all about. Then she got Ross, which threw her for a loop. On her next attempt, she got Joey, which she didn't seem to mind. Mom, that character was an idiot. Then came Phoebe, which she wasn't expecting. It was a Friends thing.
There are 6 options.
How could she not have expected Phoebe?
If it was like she got Tony Soprano, that would be very unexpected.
On her 5th attempt, she got Chandler. Could this be any more frustrating?
Yeah, she could get Tony
I like
Soprano.
Steven as a writer. In the end, she finally got Monica, and all was right with the world. Finally got Monica, Courtney wrote on Instagram. Thought I was going to be ugly naked guy for sure. # identity crisis. And then she posted, I don't know, I think this is separate. There's a picture of her and Matthew Perry. Okay, so we like Steven.
He's
a good writer. Job. He's got some chops.
Yeah, he's hitting the important subjects. So keep on that grind, Steven.
All right, shout out Steven. Want to pull him? Let's see if
we got. Does he have any 1917 content?
Steven LeConte has 2016. I can just tell by looking at him. He's just a nice kid.
Okay.
Associate editor at BuzzFeed, formerly Clickhole and The Onion.
Ooh.
So he's got a sense of humor. He's going to like this. So I feel better that he's got some Clickhole.
It is
and
funny that he came from those sites and now he's doing this stuff.
I don't know. They all. It's again. It's all in that
jobs,
entertainment
man.
stew. It's all in a listicle is no different than a shit post, right? It's just
That's true.
dumb way to spike some Old Bay seasoning on your brain for a couple of seconds. That's all it is. It's
fair.
all it is. Well, let's get to the Oscars. We're going to get back to the Harry Styles stuff, but let's get to the Oscars.
The nominations came out this week.
We'll do stuff. We'll do videos or podcasts or whatever you want about the movies and the awards and such. I would say the big news is Uncut Gems not nominated for anything. Correct?
Completely shut out.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think that it was deserving of a Best Picture nom and a Best Actor nom, but I haven't seen
Pain and Glory,
and I haven't seen the Two Popes. But
a lot of people's biggest complaint was the Two Popes being in there, Jonathan Pryce being in there.
Yeah.
But as somebody who saw the Two Popes,
yeah, you like
I gotta say, man, no problem with Jonathan Pryce being in there.
Okay,
he was great.
The Joaquin Phoenix, I'm fine with. Leo, definitely. Adam Driver, definitely. So
it was the most predictable thing in the world, though, that like if Adam Sandler was snubbed, everybody was going to be like, "Oh, what the fuck? Adam Sandler was snubbed," because everybody's rooting for Adam Sandler.
And all people want to talk about is that Adam Sandler can act seriously from time to time.
And I think it would have been very interesting and very very good for the Oscars, honestly, had Adam Sandler been there up for Best Actor. Like that would have been a very intriguing storyline. So I'm bummed that we're not getting that, but I can't be outraged about Adam Sandler getting snubbed because this was such a good year and such a stacked category. category, and I thought that he was great in Uncut Gems. And if he had gotten nominated, I would have been like, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But there were so many other good performances
I've seen too many dumb things in award shows that now basically I just immediately check was the one that should win nominated. Like as long like I was like Laura Dern and Florence Pugh were nominated for Best Supporting Actress, right? Okay, phew. 1917, Little Women, the Parasite, Marriage Story, those were all nominated for Best Picture, right? Yes? Okay, good, phew. And then you just go through there. There's always going to be snubs, and I historically hate snub talk with sports. I think it's the ultimate who gives a shit conversation.
Yeah.
To be like, this guy is batting .331. So what? He doesn't have a good OBP. But this guy's team is in second place. So how are you going to put this guy over this guy?
It means more. It means more for like the movies though, with like Oscars and stuff.
Right,
like,
yeah,
if you can slap like Oscar-nominated actress,
yeah.
on a trailer or something, that makes a whole lot of difference for these people's lives. The bigger one for me was Awkwafina not being nominated for Farewell.
That was surprising for me, but she wouldn't be my favorite, but I think that she's deserving of a nomination.
Yeah, I think she should at least be in the category. I haven't seen Harriet, so I don't know about
haven't seen Harriet or Judy.
Yeah,
and Renee Zellweger is the.
I'm just going to assume. Yeah, I'm just going to assume that Renee Zellweger deserves to be there because she won the Golden Globe and she's the heavy favorite to win at the Oscars.
No, Taron Egerton won the Golden Globe, not nominated for Best Actor. I was pretty surprised by that. I understand that Best Actor was going to be pretty loaded, but it's hard to say when I haven't seen friggin' Pain and Glory.
Right.
As long as I would have lost my mind if like De Niro was nominated instead of these guys, but I don't know. Yeah,
and like when you only get 5 spots, you got limited bullets to use, and there were so many good performances this year that it's. I thought that Taron Egerton was really good, but
nomination worthy.
I wouldn't put him over the people that got nominated.
I would say nomination worthy, but a lot of nomination worthy stuff was going to lose out
in any other year.
This year,
nomination worthy in any other year.
I guess the two. I think the two things are there needed to be 10 nominees for Best Picture because you can do that, right?
I believe so, yeah.
You can go up to 10.
Yeah, and there's 9
and they
year.
didn't. They went with 9, and honestly, Ford versus Ferrari, good movie, not worthy of a nomination this year. The Irishman, not very good in my opinion. Definitely not, even if you like the movie, not worthy of a nomination.
I'm fine with it being there, but like, I'd be mad if it won.
And Joker, not worthy of a nomination. But you got Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Jojo Rabbit, 1917, Little Women, Parasite, Marriage Story. I'd be cool with any of those winning.
Didn't even mention Knives Out.
Yeah,
I think so. My initial gut reaction was take out Joker and take out Ford versus Ferrari and replace those with Knives Out and Uncut Gems, because like Uncut Gems and Joker are the same movie for me, or like in a lot of ways, where it's like this very suspenseful, very unpleasant, very uncomfortable watch. I think that Uncut Gems hit sort of more marks for me than Joker did, and was better written.
Yeah,
and so I think that it was possibly even better directed. So I would put Uncut Gems in there over the Joker.
Yeah,
I think the Joker was more dependent on Joaquin Phoenix's performance.
Oh, totally. And the big one, the big conversation, lack of women nominated for Best Director. I did some reading up on this. I did some reading up on how the voting happens and shit like that, because I do think that there was a major snub in Best Director for women. It's not what everybody's mad about Greta Gerwig. Greta Gerwig, I think, was in the 5 to 7-ish range this year, but I thought that Melina Matsoukas was like top 3, but nobody's talking about her for some reason. Anyway, they just need to expand the best director to either 7 or 10, because if they expand it to 7 or 10, then that does away with the problem. Even like, because I feel like,
does it though?
I feel like
you
Greta
would
Gerwig,
assume so.
I feel like Greta Gerwig was probably like 6th or probably 7th, and that's not to say that like she's the 6th best or whatever, but it's like that's where she fell in the voting.
See,
and if it's just 5 and all 5 are men, then it's literally 100%. It makes you think that like no consideration is being given to women,
right.
And I don't know, maybe I have more faith in people than I should, but I have a hard time thinking that people watch Little Women and we're like, I'm not giving Greta Gerwig a
fuck
single
Greta
vote.
Gerwig,
Right.
especially when it's nominated for Best Picture.
She had to, right.
and best adapted screenplay.
Yeah,
it's for me like. I get why people are mad, and because like this is a systematic problem and
yes.
It's happened years and years and years. This particular year, in this particular instance, I'm not that mad about it, because like if I had to pick 2 out of the 3 categories where I would want Little Women nominated, it would be Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Picture.
Okay.
And because like I really liked the movie. I don't know how much of it was like Greta Gerwig nailed this.
Same.
I think she nailed it in the writing, and I think she nailed it with like her interpretation of the story and the twist that she gave on it and the ending that she put on it. And like I absolutely think that she was a great director and made a lot of this happen, and that's why it ends up being in the Best Picture category.
I think that she should be in the conversation because in the sense of that movie ruled, nominated for everything,
right?
And you see that happen all the time. If it is a movie's really good, it gets nominated for Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Director, blah, blah, and they just kind of put this blanket, like, Oscar thing over it. And I think that this movie was good enough to deserve that.
Yeah, and a lot of the times it is difficult to separate, like, well, this movie's fucking awesome, it's up for Best Picture.
Or this is the best directed movie.
Right, yeah. And, like, it's also difficult to be like, well, if it's in Best Picture, shouldn't the director kind of, like, be pretty close to being nominated for Best Director because they just directed one of the better movies of the year? You would think so.
So naturally, people who haven't seen the movies are going to decide, well, it deserves it more than this, it deserves it more than that, and that stinks. So I think that, I mean, I know we're just 2 dumb white guys, but I mean, we can at least give our perspective on what we think it was better than, worse than. So Sam Mendes for 1917, Bong Joon-ho for Parasite, Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Martin Scorsese, The Irishman, and Todd Phillips for Joker. I would say that Mendes and Bong Joon-ho were the 2 best, and they definitely deserve to be in there no matter what. Also feel strongly that Tarantino should be in there. But after that, the 4 and 5 spots, I think totally should have been up for grabs, and I would definitely take Gerwig over. Again, I'm saying I would take Matsoukas over Tarantino, Scorsese, and Todd Phillips. But again, for some reason, nobody's talking about her. So if the conversation is going to be about Gerwig, let's make it about Gerwig. I would take Gerwig over Scorsese for sure and over Todd Phillips for sure. So it's those last 2 spots that I think easily could have gone to Gerwig.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like, I think you called it the Scorsese like the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Totally, it's.
But
totally
there was no way he was never going to be there.
Scorsese should be punished for The Irishman, not award. You shouldn't reward him for that movie. You should be like, dude, you're so good at making movies, and you didn't make a very good one. Bad job for you.
So
he's Tom Brady. He's old, and he's done great things. And he didn't do that great recently, so we can say bad job.
I don't like saying that because it makes it sound like I didn't like The Irishman. I liked The Irishman. I thought it was a pretty good movie. I liked it more than you did.
I didn't.
But I know that. But Scorsese, not his best work. There are some like glaring flaws in this movie, and it's 4 hours long. So
did you see any glaring flaws in Little Women?
No, not really.
No.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the director.
I'm totally on board with Scorsese not being nominated for The Irishman.
All right. How about Todd Phillips?
I think that like I would take the Safdie brothers over Todd Phillips.
Right.
And I think that,
so that's stupid to have not said that. Like Gerwig is in a group of Noah Baumbach.
Noah Baumbach
Safdie
I would put in there
brothers,
for sure.
The
Taika Waititi I would put in there. Like it's crazy that he didn't get like Taika Waititi, like
I would definitely say that he should be in.
Yeah,
Jojo Rabbit.
I gotta say, like Jojo Rabbit, and this will be my biggest argument for Jojo Rabbit being on like a higher tier of Best Picture is that like Jojo Rabbit was the hardest movie of the year to make out of any of these categories.
Agree.
Like it is such a sensitive subject in its approach in such a unique and different
so
way.
Light,
and it's super light, but also like it's super light while also being very serious and having like serious narratives to it. It was a very complex movie that was amazing and like hit all the right tones and things like that. So Taika Waititi, I think, should have been nominated, and not a lot of people are talking about like him as a snub in Best Director.
Yeah, so I would put, I mean, in that who should get the 4 or 5 spots again, I'd say like 3 to 5, because I think in some cases, like I'd say that like Waititi was better than Tarantino. I'd give him that.
Yeah, maybe.
But like Safdie brothers are there, Gerwig's there. There's a good chunk of people, I would say.
Those people, I would say those people could have
they
easily
were
been
snubbed.
in there. Yeah,
right. Dern and Pugh both up for Best Supporting Actress. Dern is the heavy favorite. I am very happy they're both nominated and that one of them is going to win. I think Dern probably is going to win, but I would go Pugh. Dern's role was a lot smaller, but Pugh's was a lot easier to knock out of the park. I'm very cool with either one of them winning. Best Supporting Actor is basically everybody who's in The Irishman and Brad Pitt and Tom Hanks.
I'm curious though. Like, I mean, we've been running through like the bets and stuff.
Yeah,
and betting on the Oscars is very interesting and very fun. And I think like one of the better things that you can bet on of the year if you know the field.
The odds are crazy.
The odds are insane.
Like, betting on anything else is like a pistol, and betting on the Oscars is a shotgun. It just got such like this heightened, this massive wide spread.
Yeah.
Where like some of the odds for Best Picture, like something that's a 1 in 9 thing, or let's say Best Director, something that's 1 in 5. There are 5 things, and one of them has odds of over 2,000.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. Best Picture. We talked about this before the podcast. I was when I was reading up on how voting happens, I found that I didn't know that how they picked Best Picture. They do it like a lot of sports awards where you just rank all of them, and then they take the one, whichever one has
the most first place
if
votes.
one has the most first place votes, if one is 50% of first place votes, then it gets that. But often case 50% of them aren't going to just all vote for the same thing. So that's where second and third place votes can help you. And if it's a very crowded, packed year, then Los Angeles Times put it this way: the least disliked movie can be the one that wins.
Like the one movie that gets consistently ranked highest.
Right. So before I looked at the odds, I thought, all right, because I was like, I'm going to determine what the 3 least disliked movies are, then go see what their odds are. And I said 1917, Parasite, and Little Women would be the 3 that are the least disliked. 1917 odds,
I would throw Jojo Rabbit in that as well. I feel like everybody's like Jojo Rabbit.
But I feel like Jojo Rabbit is more like consistent 4th and 5th place votes.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And I also think that it, especially for Oscar voters, where that's like not typically a movie that it falls under like the Best Picture guidelines, I think that's fair.
So 1917 is plus 190, which if it were sports, that's great. But,
right. That's the thing. Like if you bet on sports, you're used to negative odds. You're used to like minus 150.
Minus
like,
105.
It's good enough.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like minus 115 or something.
So this is plus 190, which is $10 wins $19.
Yes.
Parasite is plus 400, which is in sports, that's unbelievable.
Yep.
Little Women is plus 6,600.
That's insane. That's
Folks,
the second worst odds.
I'm not doing the buy like thing, but if you want to bet on something like that, is
Little Women is a very
if you got like
difficult
an extra
movie.
$300 kicking around and you want to change your life, Little Women, man.
Yeah, well, Little Women is a very, very likable movie.
Totally. I could see Little Women getting second and third place votes across the board and a ton of first place votes.
But I also think that like you could also sort of put it in the Jojo Rabbit discussion where like
does this usually win?
No, but like in the is it going to hit like people's 2 or 3 spot? Or is it always going to hang out around?
No,
like,
I think it is. Yeah,
you think so?
I think it's going to get top 3 votes consistently.
Really?
Jojo Rabbit, I don't think so. Jojo Rabbit, I loved, but that's pretty wild. And then Ford versus you want a dumb bet? Ford versus Ferrari.
You want to waste your? You want to throw your money away?
Put down $1. You win. Wait, $1 would win $75. Let's do the math.
So
$1 would win $75, and that would be a massive waste of $1 because that is absolutely not winning.
Yeah, like and so this is why I feel really good about the Oscars this year because I really liked Ford versus Ferrari. I thought that it was a very fun, a very enjoyable popcorn movie. I would be mad if it won Best Picture because there's so many other great movies.
Oh yeah,
but. Like I don't dislike any of the movies in the category this year, which I can't say last year. So that's a positive thing.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be like I'm not going to be pumping up my selection like 1917 or Parasite and dumping on other movies in the process.
Right.
I'm just going to be saying my personal opinion. I like these two more than the others.
So
last year we had to really go in on this movie fucking sucked and it should not be in here.
Right. Oh yeah. All the movies that were nominated for Best Picture, other than The Irishman, were good movies.
Mm-hmm.
So
and I like The Irishman. I'll disagree with you on that, but
all right. We'll get to 1917 in earnest. I guess in a future episode, but I realized we haven't like broken down 1917. But that movie rules. That was like it's
incredible.
It's top 5 any way you slice it. But there are several like 10, not several, but there's like at least 3 or 4 like 10.00 out of 10 movies this year. You just saying that made me think of this. I brought up after I saw 1917 that generally there's a lot of movies that are worth getting nominated for Best Picture, and then like 3 to 5 that you're like, I'd be cool with that winning Best Picture. Like I was fine when Shape of Water won Best Picture.
Same.
And everyone was freaking out about it, and I was like, no, that's like a Best Picture quality movie.
I wasn't mad about Green Book.
Yeah, same. Like this year, there have been, by my count, 10 movies that legitimately could win Best Picture, and I would say, good. That deserves it. No particular order. Parasite, Queen and Slim, Little Women, Knives Out, Midsommar, Marriage Story, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Jojo Rabbit, Last Black Man in San Francisco, Uncut Gems. Takeaway there, as I say that, is Last Black Man in San Francisco got pretty heavily snubbed, I would say.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like that's not a surprise. It feels like one of the best forgotten movies of 2019, which is a shame.
As long as like The Lighthouse didn't get a bunch of shit.
Right.
Instead of it, you know? But then I would say one's worthy of a nomination in like a normal year would be Ford versus Ferrari. And that ties back to that of like, in a different year, Ford versus Ferrari, I have no problem. I see it this year and I'm like, ugh. But
well, it's just a bummer this year because like there are a few other movies
instead of other A+ like winning deserving movies. Loose. Did you ever see Loose?
No.
It's good. Lighthouse, The Farewell, Joker, Ad Astra, I'd even say in a past year, if that were nominated for Best Picture, I'd be like, yeah, fine, it's going to lose, but whatever. Peanut Butter Falcon. And then even like Rocket Man, which isn't that good a movie. I could have totally seen in like, I mean, last year, if Bohemian Rhapsody didn't come out and Rocket Man was up for it instead, I'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever, cool. Probably shouldn't win, but who knows? But that just shows you though the depth that this year had. This was an insane.
I can't
year.
believe that. I don't think Ad Astra got nominated for anything either. Like people forgetting about that movie.
Great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't believe it didn't get like cinematography or like production design or whatever you want to say. But like Ad Astra was a fantastic looking movie, and you know. It wasn't my favorite, but like I thought it was a good movie, and it looked great, and Brad Pitt was great, and it just seems like there were so many great movies this year that Ad Astra kind of got forgotten too.
Yeah. Okay. Last thing, Curb Your Enthusiasm is back this Sunday. Mm-hmm. Are we excited about that?
Not like I'm.
No one's talking about.
Not like I'm going to throw a party excited,
right.
but like I'm.
You're gonna check it out.
I'm glad that I'm going to have something cool to watch on Sunday.
I don't know if I'm necessarily glad. It was bad last season.
It was bad last season,
so I'm afraid that. Like you want to see Tom Brady play another 15 years and like go 2-14 every year. Then you're going to think like, hey, Tom Brady was the best quarterback for part of his career.
Yeah,
and the rest of it.
And I do
so,
think,
like, do you want to water it down, Larry, or what?
Like one of the best things about Parks and Rec was that like you could say that Parks and Rec was never bad.
Yeah, never got bad.
Yeah, you can't say that about Curb Your Enthusiasm anymore. But like, I'm not ready to write off Larry David yet.
Definitely
after one
not.
bad season,
Right. I just wonder though. I feel like it wasn't panned enough that I don't think he knows that last season was bad.
I think it was more of a case that like everybody was just so excited to have Curb Your Enthusiasm back after such a long period,
right?
That everybody was willing to ignore that it was bad. So with this being the second season after the hiatus, if it's not good, I think people are going to be more critical towards this one.
Ooh.
But also, they set the bar pretty low with what they came back with last year. So
it's not a bad strategy. We're going to recap it all next week on The Buzz.
I sold my fortune, I gave up my claim, I traded sunshine for the pouring rain. I followed wise men, but I turned the other way. And someday I'll up and fly this gilded cage. Well, they say only a fool would throw it all away. Someday I'll up and fly this gilded cage. Oh, everybody works just like a slave, all for the softest coffin that they made. Well, I say, why bother coming if you gotta leave that way? And someday I'll up and fly this gilded cage. Well, they say only a fool would throw it all away. Someday I'll up and fly this gilded cage. Oh, well, they say only a fool would throw it all away. Someday I'll up and fly